Hey everybody, this is Alan K. Stout from the Sunday Night Music on the Menu radio show, and I'm coming to you tonight from my home bar at my house. It's kind of got a rock and roll theme to it, and I thought this would be a cool place to chat with you tonight. This is the second time that I've done a short podcast from home, just talking about some stuff going on with local music. I have done 7 podcasts now with interviews from local artists over the past 2 weeks, with people from different walks of life from the local music scene. And I'm going to have another one for you this week with Richie Costas from Rock Street Music. Richie, of course, has a different perspective on this than some of the folks that I've talked to already. Richie owns a sound and lights company, so they do production at shows. He owns a music store where they sell instruments and give lessons. And he also plays in the band Flaxy Morgan, and so he is out there doing shows. And of course, they're a big part of the Summer Bazaar scene, which looks like that might be in jeopardy. So certainly Richie will have a different perspective on this whole situation. After I talk to Richie, I'm going to talk to some more musicians next week, including some younger artists. I've been talking pretty much to some folks that I've known for a really long time to get these podcasts started, and people that have different places in music, in the music business. But I thought that what I would like to do next is shift over and get the perspective of some of the younger people out there doing music and how COVID-19 is affecting them. So something to look forward to. You know, I caught myself this week, and I even did it myself, and I never try to do this, when someone asked about doing the podcast, you know, trying to support the local music scene during this time. And that is a word, support, that I have never really liked to use when it comes to music. You support the Red Cross when you donate blood. You support your local charity when you make a monetary donation. It's a sacrificial type thing to do. Sometimes you have to give something up. With music, I've never really liked to use that word. Music is fun. You go out and see a band, it's a good time. You know, you go to see a concert, it's a good time. You're not supporting these artists, you're enjoying them. What they're giving you is enjoyable and fun, and they're talented, and you know. So I never really liked to use the word support. I almost thought it was insulting to the artist. Like, I'm going to go support my local band tonight. No, you're not. You're going to go see your local band and listen to them and have a good time. And so it's a word I've never liked to use when it comes to music. But I guess I did catch myself using it once or twice this week when I was talking about the podcast, because that's really all I could do right now. Is let them know, you know, that we haven't forgot about them. Let them know that we miss them. Let them share their stories with you. Keep their name out there a little bit in a really small way with our podcast. And, you know, maybe even document this time for them in history. I saw that the Luzerne County Historical Society there was a story in the news yesterday that they were looking for people to share their stories either on video or write them down or audio, because they wanted to document COVID-19 for future generations. To be honest with you guys, when we started doing the podcast a week and a half ago, that was one of the things that I thought of. I thought, well, this isn't a unique time. I'm recording these podcasts, and years from now, maybe these artists, these folks that I've talked to, will be able to, you know, play them for their grandkids and say, hey, this is what was going on back in 2020. This is an interview that I did with this guy from the radio station, and this was, you know, I did this right in the middle of it all. And so, you know, there's maybe a little historical component to it as well as supporting them right now. And like I said, you know, and I will use that word for this one occasion, and, you know, letting everybody know their perspective on this, because I know we all love music and they all have unique stories to tell. Another thing I wanted to chat about was the One World Together at Home special that was on ABC on Saturday night. I did talk a little bit about it on the last podcast from home, but got some numbers today. It was viewed by 21 million people, so it had a huge audience. And the one thing I noticed about it, and I didn't see anybody else comment on this, you know, was I loved the fact that the artists did these performances in a very simple way. I don't think any of us right now, when people are worrying about their finances and, you know, maybe they're stuck in home, and, you know, maybe you live in a little apartment and you haven't been able to go out in a month and a half now, or you're, you know, a modest home, and you're worried about, you know, how you're going to get through this financially, And we don't need to see Elton John in his backyard in front of his, swimming pool, his in-ground pool, or in his mansion with the spiral staircase. I thought that it was very cool that Elton did his performance like out in his driveway, and you could see like a basketball hoop in the background with a couple basketballs on the ground, and he just kind of kept it simple and kept the camera angle real tight on just him and the piano, and you could see a couple things in the background. Like I said, a basketball hoop, and the other artists as well. If they were in their home, they were just sitting on a chair, or Paul McCartney, the Stones, they did the split screen thing, which was cool. But, I like the fact that the artists, particularly the ones that did it individually, kept it very simple. They didn't make it seem like they were, in great distress right now or sacrificing. They were in a tough situation, because they probably aren't. They're all millionaires. And so for them to allow the focus of the show to remain on the COVID-19 situation, to focus on the doctors, to focus on the nurses, to not make themselves out to be the superheroes who are coming to the rescue, because they're not. They were just here to entertain us and give us some relief with their talent and their music. I thought that was really well done by the artists, as well as by the producer and the director of the program. I put on my Facebook that whoever put that thing together should win an Emmy Award. That was a terrific broadcast. Also checked out the Prince special on Tuesday night, the tribute to Prince. It was kind of strange watching that, because I was watching with my daughter, and she said, "Daddy, when was this filmed? Is this live?" Because there was all those people there. And I had to explain to her that it was actually filmed back in January, right around the time of the Grammys, when you could still actually do that. I thought the best performance, I really liked Miguel. I thought his performance of I Would Die For You was terrific. I always loved that song from Purple Rain. Other music stuff happening locally. Our friends at Mohegan Sun Pocono and Carl Hall have announced the lineup for the NEPA Live from Home series. They're going to be doing live streams and broadcasting them on all their social media pages starting next week, and they're going to continue into June as of now. So I did share that post. If you want to see the schedule, they're all there. I saw Nick Coyle is on there, and the Mule Team, and Brett Alexander, and quite a few other terrific artists. So if you want to check that out, I've shared it on Music on the Menu, just to try to help those guys out and get the word out for what they're doing. That's Will Beekman, Steve Paremba, and AJ Jump putting that whole thing together. Another thing, talk about the new music that's been coming my way for the radio show. Obviously, we've been off since the casino was closed. Haven't gotten that many new tunes. So when I get back on the air, I'll probably be all caught up, probably within the first half hour of the first show. It seems like some artists are holding off on releasing their new music right now. I did hear that from a couple of artists, that they don't feel it's a good time. Maybe they were going to have a CD release party in a club, and they can't do that right now. And then I've heard some other artists say, well, it's a good time to put it out. Everybody's at home, and a lot of people are online a little bit more. And if you drop it out there digitally or through social media, maybe it's a good time to put out some tunes. I think there's probably a valid point to both sides of that discussion. I don't really have an opinion on it. That's up to the artist. They do whatever is best for them. If I see some people dropping some new music out there, and they're folks that I know from the radio show, normally I will share them on the Music on the Menu page, and the new MP3s and CDs that are coming my way, we'll hold on to those, and we'll get them on the radio for you as soon as we can. I think that's about it for now. Just wanted to get you updated on some things here from the home front. All is well here. I hope everything's good with you. Love the new Rolling Stones song. That was a surprise. I thought that was really cool to see them in the studio. I love the video, because I love anytime you could see a band kind of, singing in the microphone in the studio, and to see Mick Jagger doing that, I thought that was, that was pretty cool. Always great to get some new music from the Stones, and it was the first new music from the Stones in 8 years. So at least we got that out of this situation. As always, everybody stay safe, stay home. Thank the frontline workers. They're the ones that'll get us through this the fastest. Everything we're doing, remember, is to support, and I'll use that word again, them. Take care. We'll catch you next time.